Good morning from Sweden. I hope you're all well today. It's still snowing here. It's crazy. We've had moments of no snow. I think yesterday was quite clear, but apart from that, it's just been snowing and snowing and snowing. So hopefully today will be a clear day. I can go out and practice some Qigong in whatever sunlight we got, daylight we got. Anyway, this is today's reading. I Ching reading to check the status of the energies around us today and see how the energies are around us and how to navigate them best. And the last few days have been quite intense. We've had abolishing the old keep on coming up, a lot of metal energy coming up, cutting away what's old, which can be very intense periods actually when we have to leave what's all behind us in order for us to clear way for the new, to allow the new to come in. So, and I must say on a personal note, yesterday was actually rather intense, and the last few weeks or the last few months actually have been quite intense. However, let's have a look at today's hexagram. I must say I feel a lot more at peace and more calm today. Feels like the energies are more calm, but let's have a look and see what it says. So if you are getting something out of these readings and feeling that are beneficial to you, then please consider liking and subscribing, so maybe we can help other people to come this way and they might be able to get help as well. Okay, so the question we ask, how does this hexagram want to move me today? We start by grounding ourselves a little bit, releasing some old energy. So we start by emptying the lungs completely of all stagnant air and all stagnant energy. And then breathe it into the stomach. Filling the lungs with fresh chi, fresh air. So breathe in through the nose. And then breathe out through the lips, and you can create a little pinhole like you're blowing out through a straw. So releasing all stagnant energy and thoughts, and just bringing you into the present moment, bringing us into the present moment. So I'm going to start by checking the lower part of this hexagram that we are receiving today. So how does this hexagram want to move me today? What does the energy look around us today? And please help us navigate this in the best way possible. So heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. Heaven, lake, fire, thunder, wind, wood, water. So we've got water in the lower gua, or the inner gua. And then let's just check for the outer gua, the upper part of the hexagram. How does this hexagram want to move me today? What are the energies like today? And how can we best navigate this to ensure the best possible outcome and smoothness throughout the day? Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, wind, wood, mountain, lake. Heaven, lake, fire. So we have fire and over water, and that is fire is extinguished by water, and water is boiled by fire, so they are their opposite counterparts. So they both take each other out. So let's see. So we've got fire. No, sorry, water. And the inner gua, and then fire and the outer. So that's what it is. So fire above water. So these are actually two opposing energies. So fire rises and water sinks. So this is like almost separating, right? They're going in different directions. Let's have a look at the changing line. Oh, I should have just kept 6. Where's the one with the little black spot? There it is. So let's how is this changing? Which way are we heading? And where are we in the energy or in the flow of this hexagram? So first position, second line, so third, 6, fourth, 9. So we're here. Oops. Need a pen tool. There we go. So, which means that fire is turning into a mountain. So it's changing into mountain over water. So there's the mountain rising out of the water. And this one we recognize from before. So we're still in the same similar energies. But we're moving out of, I think, there's a great change here. Let's have a look. So this is Li, Kan. This is Gen. Oops. Gen, Kan. We'll just look at this for reference to see where we're heading. Not too much in depth. So bottom line is yin at the yang place, yang at the yin place, yin at the yang place, yang at the yin place, yin at the yang place, yang at the yin place. And but the lines are corresponding, okay? So that's, but it seems like it's a lot of opposing energy and there's nothing that's really in the correct place today. But we'll have a look at it. I'm just going to check the book. So we've got Li over Kan, which is, so we're at this energy we had again, so we keep on coming back. So this is not yet fulfilled, which means we're at the beginning of a cycle, right? Not yet fulfilled. We've been a few days ago, it was already fulfilled, and then moving into not yet fulfilled, and now we moved with clarity, moved into not yet fulfilled, which means we are at the beginning of a cycle. Big clearing yesterday, the last few days, I felt it. So we are swiftly moving into the new now. And then Gen and Kan is number 4. 4, so it is 64 and 4. Let's see, Gen, Kan. Sorry, I drew that one wrong. Should be, keep on doing that. Drawing water as fire. There we go. So, already fulfilled. Let's have a look at what number 4 is. It's childhood. This is so beautiful. So we come to the beginning of a new cycle and moving into childhood, which is also the beginning of a cycle, right? We are being born and we go through childhood and then growing up. We definitely made a big clearing, a big change over the last few weeks, really. But we've come over the cusp, moved into a new beginning, okay? This is why nothing is really in the correct place, because it's all right at the beginning. So let's have a look at that. So this is the last, not yet fulfilled, is the last hexagram in the cycle. And that could be a bit strange that we have not yet fulfilled as the last one. I feel like that should be the first one. However, as the universe, everything goes in cycles, right? If you look at the yin and yang, first you have, and look at the seasons, for example. We're moving in, we've got summer, which is the fullest of yang. And this is where there's most activity, most creativity, the nature around us is blossoming, is just beautiful, and there's lots happening, right? And then it slowly moves into autumn, and then into winter, and then we're coming into the fullest of yin, which is the complete withdrawal, and everything is slowing down. In the winter, the trees and the bushes and everything, the flowers wither, the trees and bushes are losing their leaves, everything is slowing down, bears are going into hibernation, the energy is becoming lower. Maybe you got snow where you're at. And then from winter it shifts into spring, and then we're back into summer again. This cycle is constant. And if you look at the plants, they grow up and then they die. Some live longer than others, with little insects as well. They live maybe not so long. Maybe they just have a few days, or maybe just a few hours. I think a fruit fly don't live longer than a day or something. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. But then we've got people like us are living for much longer. You've got some turtles are living for 250 years. But everything begins at some point, and then it grows up and it becomes into its most strongest, and then after it is grown up and become the strongest, it start withering. That's with everything in the universe, okay? And I think the explanation for not yet fulfilled, how everything goes into, is actually beginning go is in this one, but let's sequence of, okay, let's read this one. So let's have a look at the image first. And at the top, it looks, I think it's a person who's carrying something on top of that. Let's have a look. And then at the bottom, there's definitely a river here. And here is 3 people pulling together in a boat crossing a river. So in the olden days, many years ago, it was considered very dangerous, or it was very dangerous to cross a river. So you had to unite to do that. So this is not an easy time as such, because this is the beginning, although it could be very joyous as well. Let's see. The ideograph is meticulous. It looks simple, yet its meaning is profound. The stem of the ideograph is a tree. Moo. Okay. This is a tree. A second curved stroke was added through the tree, and thus the ideograph of way was created. Without the horizontal stroke, we have a picture of a tree with its roots growing downward and its branches growing upward. So this is a tree with the branches growing down, and these are deep roots, okay? So this is the beginning of life, I'd say, like a tree growing down, but it's got this line crossing through. The horizontal stroke represents the ground. So this is the ground. And then the roots are growing down deep into the ground, and the tree is growing up. So this is the beginning of life. It has already grown to full height, fulfilled its growth, and now it's starting a new cycle of growth. The structure of the ideograph supplies a vivid picture of having achieved one's goals, but not having been fulfilled. There is a new cycle to come. The meaning of the ideograph of Yi, fully explained in the previous Gua, signifies crossing a river. From here to there, or from beginning to end. So the previous Gua, which is already fulfilled, then moves into not yet fulfilled, this changing. And the previous Gua has got the opposite. It's got fire over water. And in there, it's like the fire boils the water. Here, they're separating. Okay. The succession of events never ends. Thus, after already fulfilled at the end, not yet fulfilled follows. Okay. So this is a cycle. So what I say here is it's a natural phenomenon that after waxing comes waning, before fullness there is emptiness. So this is the endless cycle, how things shift and all throughout the universe. The structure of the Gua is fire above, water below. The nature of fire is flaming upward and the nature of water is flowing downward. Their actions move in opposite directions and dissociate. This movement signifies a difficult situation. Yeah. And we also got the lines, like I said, and there's nothing that is in the correct places. So this is not easy, but the beginning of life is never easy. Can you imagine like there's a little seed in the ground and it's starting to get this little sprout. And in the beginning, the sprout is very, very vulnerable because he hasn't got much strength. So although very beautiful, and it's amazing, it's magical, the beginning of life. Well, life is magical, but the beginning, this little seed, this little baby is very vulnerable as well. Everything at the beginning is it's dangerous. And is always very vulnerable. So this is the situation we are in, but it's also beautiful, right? This is the beginning of something new. So take steps, be kind to yourself, and look after yourself, really at this beginning of a new cycle. So here all the yang lines are in the yin places and all the yin lines are at the yang places. There is no perfect equilibrium and no absolute correctness, yet there is still balance. So there's still balance because all the lines, the yin lines corresponds to the yang lines in the inner Gua and the outer Gua. So there is no correctness, but still there is balance. And this is the beginning. So let's read the decision. Not yet fulfilled, prosperous and smooth, like little fox almost across the river. Wet its tail, nothing is favorable. Okay. So this is dangerous time. So take easy steps, careful steps. Look after yourself. Okay. Let's continue with a commentary on the decisions. We maybe get some explanation on little fox there. Not yet fulfilled, there is prosperity and smoothness, for the yielding attains the central place. So the yielding is in the central place at the top one there. Little fox almost across the river, it is not yet past the central line. So it's almost across the river, right? But this not yet. So it's still actually in the river, wets its tail, nothing is favorable. There is no continuation at the end. Although all lines are not in the proper places, yet the strong and the weak will correspond to each other. And then commentary on the symbol. Let's read that and let's see if we can get the full understanding of this one. Fire over water, an image of not yet fulfilled. It corresponds with this. The superior person discriminates carefully the nature of things and keeps each of them in its proper position. Yeah, this is what I was speaking about. Okay, so we're in the beginning of something where the little sprout or the little baby, that's where the energy we are in. And this is very vulnerable. And this is a dangerous time. And the little fox is not yet across the river. So everything is a little bit shaky right now. So really consider every step you take and then look at how things are. So consider the nature of things. Don't rush into something. Now is the time for stillness, to really consider, to really watch and really see what's happening, okay, before making any step, any movement. I'd like to see if I can find something about the fox's tail. Its situation was like that of a little fox had almost crossed the river. There was success in store and nothing was unfavorable. The Duke of Zhou records the rise of the Zhou dynasty. At the beginning it encountered hindrance, likened to dragging one's wheels and getting one's tail wet. King Wen proceeded with utter caution. Yeah. And when Zhou helped the Zhang defeat the Gui Fang, regret disappeared and good fortune reigned. Being truthful and faithful in establishing alliances and setting up feudal laws, even while drinking wine, still brought good fortune and no fault. So yes, well, it is what I was talking about. This is the beginning of something. We're a little seed with this little sprout. And then, so proceed with caution, but there will be good fortune. This is good now. So we actually come into this new cycle. So let's have a look at the changing line, which is the fourth 9. Let's read this one. Fourth 9, being steadfast and upright, good fortune. So being steadfast is remaining truthfully you, and upright, moving forward, with conviction and in faith and truthful, right? With sincerity. Regret vanishes. Attacks the Guafang like thunder. So that was what we were talking about here, defeating the Guafang. That's a different group of people. I don't know who they were, but attacks the Guafang like thunder. 3 years, rewards come from the great kingdom. So this was before the Duke of Zhou or the King Wen actually overthrown the Zhang, because apparently he's helping the Zhang dynasty defeat the Guafang. Being steadfast and upright, good fortune, regret disappears, his will is fulfilled. The fourth line has moved out of the lower Gua. Okay, so we're the lower Gua, and then we moved into the upper Gua. Water darkness into the upper Gua, fire brightness. So water at the bottom, that's darkness, and then we're moving into brilliance to the fire. In this situation, one is able to finish one's task, yet the fourth line is a yang element at a yin place. It is neither central nor correct. This is the regret. Remaining steadfast and upright dissolves regrets and invites good fortune. Since this one is in an incorrect place, it suggests that it's difficult for him to remain steadfast and upright. He should make a determined effort to mobilize his strength and spirit, as in attacking the determined effort to mobilize in attacking the Guafang tribe over a long period of time, only then will he fulfill his will. The message of this Gua is that before the success of a venture, one should remain steadfast and upright, mobilize his strength and spirit, make a great and sustained effort to fulfill one's goal. Yes, so this is definitely the beginning of something new, and it's going to be tough ahead. We're in a situation now we have to mobilize ourselves and remain steadfast and upright, moving forward. So we don't fall back into old patterns again. It's so easy to do that. And especially when we've gone through a big change, we're usually quite tired, right? We've drained ourselves, because when we're leaving something old behind, that is rarely very easy. It usually takes us out of it. So at the moment, we need to really gather our strength and don't fall back into old habits, and don't move back into what was old, because it's so many times we feel like that it's easy to move back into the old because we know what's old, and then we're back into the old situation again. That is not what we want to do. Now it's time to move forward, yet steadily and calmly. We use all our strength and our motivation, our will, and a great intention. And intention comes from the heart. A great intention comes from the heart. We're moving forward, considering what our heart is speaking to us, and listening also to our stomach, the gut feeling, and then using our logic to move forward, considering things, but using all our willpower. We do not want to end up back in the old situation. We've gone over the hill and we're at the other side. Do not succumb to old patterns, the programming of your subconscious, and move back into the old, because then you're just back at the same place again. And you have to do this whole thing that you've gone through already, this whole tiresome thing, you have to do it again in order to get out. So now it's time to move forward into this new, although you're feeling like just this little seedling. But this is for you, okay? This is for you to create your new life. So we have, for the first time since I started this channel, moved into a new element. We've moved into the fire element. So far we've been in the metal and in the water. So we moved into the fire element. And then we're going to look quickly at childhood, which is number 4. So childhood is a time when we are a bit reckless. Children haven't learned yet what can be dangerous, right? So childhood can be a dangerous time. So, and this is exactly what this one is speaking about as well. We're not, which is the not yet fulfilled. It's like we're not yet across the river. So we're actually in the middle of the river. So things are quite dangerous at the moment. Not necessarily dangerous as in we're being threatened in any way, but it's like all in the beginning, as it is with the childhood. So we're talking about in the commentary here, unenlightened, ignorant, and also childhood, prosperous and smooth. So it's a good time, right? But it's not I who seek the ignorance seeks me. So we're in a very ignorant time now because we stepped into the unknown. And when you don't know, you're ignorant about what is about to come. Like a little child who is very playful and joyful and loves going out on adventures, but could get in trouble if we don't hold ourselves back a little bit. So a little child needs to be guided gently and with love, exactly in the same way you should guide yourself gently and with love. But you need to listen to your heart now and listen to your intuition, and then really make sure you don't rush forward too soon. Allow yourself to land in this situation and allow yourself to enjoy this place. Just make sure that you don't go back to old habits, okay? Because that's not where we want to end up. And then make sure you look after yourself just like you cradle a little baby. This is how you need to look after yourself, nourish yourself, and then guide yourself and allow yourself to play and have fun as well at this point. But this is when we're starting to create what's new for us. So, yeah, I think that's all for today. Yeah, I'm wishing you a beautiful day.